Okay, as I mentioned, we're going to actually go through a game. And this was a tournament game at the Philadelphia Open on March. The tournament started March the 25th. It's a game that I played, and it's a game that I won. I purposely selected one that I won. We're going to go through it real quick so you can see how a tournament game actually happens. This game probably took between 3 and 4 hours to play. Your casual games will go a lot faster than that, and once you learn the basic rules and how all the pieces move, you'll be able to play speed. And a speed game is only 5 minutes. But a lot of people find it a lot of fun. I really don't play speed because I'm preparing for tournament play. But for casual and to have some fun, speed is just fine. I was playing the white pieces here. That's E4, and E4 is algebraic notation. I hope you can see the numbers on the side of the board and the letters at the bottom. It'll go from your left side with A to your right side with H. And if you're playing black, apparently it goes the other way. Then from the white side of the board, it'll be numbered 1 through 8. Black responded, knight F6. Again, I'm going through it very quickly. White pushes up. Remember, we mentioned that on the first move, the pawn can move up 2 squares, but after that, it can only advance 1 square. We also mentioned that pawn has a value of 1 based on its mobility. The knight has a value of 3 based on its mobility. Also, the pawn captures 1 square in each direction. So right now, this pawn is threatening this knight. So what my opponent did was get the knight out of the way. Remember, the knight moves 2 up, 1 over, or 1 up and 2 over in any direction. And we also noted that the knight has the ability to jump over pieces. I continue to threaten the knight again. We're going to learn soon that one of the theories in chess is to control the center of the board. That's what I'm attempting to do with my pawns. Right now I have 3 pawns in the center of the board. He has none. He attacks my center. I try to reinforce the center. He's now attempting to develop his bishop. Because these 2 pawns are in the way of his bishop's development, he pushed this pawn up and wants to develop the bishop on the long diagonal. Remember, the bishop moves diagonally. The knight 2 up, 1 over. Bishop moves diagonally, so my opponent moved their bishop on the long diagonal. I moved my bishop diagonally. This is considered a light square bishop because it will only move on the light squares. This is a dark square bishop. It will only be able to move on dark squares. This is his light square bishop comes out to attack the knight. This is something that we did not mention, castling. Castling is the process of moving your king 2 over and your rook in front. Black also castled. You castled to keep your king in a safe position, and we'll go through all the rules that relate to castling. I developed my knight. Pushes a pawn up 1 square. My bishop, diagonal movement. Knight 1 up, 2 over. Pawn is now attacking the knight. Knight moves backwards. You really don't want to move your pieces backwards unless you absolutely have to. Pawn that's attacking the bishop. We talked about how your piece, when it captures your opponent's piece, actually takes that opponent's square, which is what he did. I captured the bishop. Right now, the knight is worth 3, the bishop is worth 3. So on value basis, we're the same. But I now have the bishop pair, and they're kind of sweeping across the board. So I'm thinking that's good, but he locked up the position, so now it's not as good. I'm weakening my king's position to get an attack on my opponent. He moves another pawn. I'm trying to shift the rook over to the file that I believe is going to be opened. He's trying to get his pieces into play. I'm playing the queen and the bishop on a diagonal that I believe is going to be opened. He's starting to play on the opposite side of the board. I double up my rooks, so if this ever opens, I should have a significant advantage. He's moving his king because he's afraid that side is going to open and his king will be in trouble. I'm trying to shift this bishop to point at his king's area. He's trying to lock up his king's position. I'm moving my rook to what I believe is going to be opened if I can get that exchange. He's trying to activate his queen. His queen isn't doing any good on that back file or the back rank. I'm shifting my queen over, so once I open up that position, I should be able to attack him. He's trying to defend any opening of the position. Now I locked up another pair of pawns. It's going to be hard for me to open that position, and all these moves will have been wasted. He attacks my knight. My knight moves out of the way. The queen's attacking the knight, but the bishop is defending the knight. The queen is worth 9 points. The knight is only worth 3. Now I'm defending my knight with a pawn. Now the king side is being locked up. My only chance is to open up this file against this king. Now I've engaged his pawn. I'm attacking his queen. Now I have a chance to open up the file against the king. I should have an advantage. If I don't do it, I'm trying to get my queen on that file so I can make some significant attacks. I am being very patient, probably too patient. He takes off the pawn. I got the file open. I take it with the bishop. He's attacking my queen, 2 up, 1 over. I take off the knight. He takes off with the rook. And now I finally achieved an open file going into his king. He's using these pieces to defend his king's position. He's defended his rook. Now I have 3 pieces coming down on this pawn. He has 1, 2, 3 defending. I have to come up with ways to attack his king's position. It's not easy to do. Now he's attacking my pawn, but it's defended by my bishop. Now that was a mistake. He can now take the pawn, and there's not much I can do about it. He'll be attacking my queen. And this is what happens. After you've played for 3 or 4 hours, you can miss a move, and that's what he did. Now my job was to make sure they didn't get another chance to do it, so I covered my knight, covered my pawn. I'm just trying to be patient. You see how the king is moving in 1 square? He can't think of anything to do because he doesn't have a whole lot of room. I'm using my king to defend the pawn. Now I'm going to try what I tried before. I make sure that he doesn't have any options with that knight. And now I can play my knight if I want to. He can't come up with any ideas, and sometimes that just tires out your opponent because there's a lot of thinking that goes into all this. And I think that's, in this position, he made a significant mistake, which was pushing up that pawn. He thought that that would be a good move. It's really not. Check. Now his king must be defended because that's check. He captures with his queen. A rook is worth 5 points, but he didn't have any choice. Now he's lost his queen, which was worth 9 points. And now he knows that there's a very good chance he's going to lose, and soon. And in this position, he decided to resign. When you resign a position, you say, I resign, and you reach out your hand to shake your opponent's hand. And the game is over. Okay, that's just a very quick example of how a tournament game can happen. Again, this game lasted close to 4 hours, and I made a significant mistake, but it was so deep into the game that my opponent was just too tired and didn't see how to take advantage of it. Fortunately, I saw that it was a mistake, and I recovered and went on to win the game. Okay, thanks for listening, and that was just a very quick example of how chess is played on a tournament level. We're going to break that down on a very simple level so that we can all learn and enjoy the game of chess.